So this is the demo for Windchill PDM Link and Windchill Product Analytics cost. So I'm going to start within Windchill PDM Link 10. And as you can see, this Windchill cost application is tightly integrated with the rest of the PDS. So here I can see that I have an assignment to validate, target, and estimate costs for a new hard drive in the new workstation we're working on. But also, if there were any change requests as well as new part introductions, part of that task and part of that activity could be to validate the target cost. Again, these activities can be tightly integrated with many of the product development processes. Also, the Windchill cost module is visible throughout PDM Link. Some of the places that we'll see that information is if I jump over into a folder browser. So I can navigate through the folder browser, and as I look at my part information, I also can enable the tables to have different cost attributes. So in this case, I can see for all these parts that I have the cost status, the cost estimate, as well as the sourcing status. Again, key information that can be available to the engineer when making critical design decisions, such as adding a part to a product, making a change request, or even when they're introducing a new part, to understand what that cost of that new part is. Again, that cost information is available throughout PDM Link. Another place that you'll see this information available is within search. So in this case, I've actually created a saved search for cost statuses. So I'm going to select on that, and now I'm going to be able to create a cost search to say for all these parts in this particular assembly, show me the cost status. So here you can see I have a view with the cost status and the cost estimate. So again, I can quickly make a decision about which part is the appropriate part to use in my design or change request. Now I'm actually going to jump back to the individual part in question, this 90 gig hard drive. So I select on the detail information, and that brings me to the information page within Windchill PDM Link. So here, alongside all the other relevant PDM Link information, I now have a configurable tab called Product Analytics. Now this tab is going to make available high-level information from Windchill Product Analytics, whether that be environmental compliance information, such as ROHS or REACH, or it also could be some of the cost information. So in this case, you see that I have my cost status for the part, my target, my actual is the estimate type, and my cost estimate. And I also can see a cost confidence. I can quickly jump in and find that part within Product Analytics by selecting on this icon. I jump over here and I select on the Cost Information tab, and again I can see the different estimate types. And notice that this part was basically federated from PDM Link into Product Analytics, so I don't have to duplicate any part entry. All the part information, once it's created or updated in PDM Link, is automatically synced with Windchill Product Analytics. So again, I'm always doing the analysis on the latest parts. So in this case, I actually can see my different estimate types. I'm going to select Manage Cost Estimates and go see some more details behind these. So in this case, you see that I have actually 3 estimates: actual, ERP last purchase price, and guess. So I actually could change the primary to a different estimate type. Let's see how that works. So I could say, you know what, I think the guess is the best case. So let's select that as the primary, hit preview, approve, and this information is automatically synced back with PDM Link. So if I go back to PDM Link now, hit refresh on my page, we now see that the cost information for that hard drive is now updated to failing because it's using the guess estimate instead of the actual. So let me jump back into here again, and I can see again more information that's being federated from PDM Link. I see that I have an approved manufacturer list. Again, this is information that's being replicated from PDM Link. If I go back to here and I select on the AML within PDM Link, you can see that I have those 2 different suppliers as well. In this case, I'm actually going to update one of the manufacturer part status to approved, preferred, hit OK, and again, that information will automatically be synced back down to Product Analytics. So we now see that Seagate is a preferred supplier. So jumping back to the cost information, I see that I had 3 parts entered in as the values. So what if I had more cost estimates? How would I get that information in? Well, I can actually upload different cost estimates through a file format. So if I had these in another system, or I had them on a disk or in a spreadsheet, I can select load cost data in this format. I'm going to select upload, and now what's going to do, it's going to upload a forecasted cost for all the assemblies or all the parts contained within that file. So if I jump back and go to the details of that page, we can see now the cost information, it has a forecasted cost. Again, 2 ways out of the box to get information in the system, whether it be manually entering it or loading it from a file. And always, we could automatically get that information through an integration with APIs. Now let's look at the bill of material. So now I'm going to do search, bills of materials. And again, the power of product analytics is that I can search for one or more BOM sources. I could search for BOMs that are loaded directly into product analytics or stored directly in product analytics, or I could reach out to a system in real time to get the appropriate configuration to do the analysis against. So in this case, I'm going to write workstation, hit search. Now it's going to go search against PDM link, bring back the workstation, bill of material. I select on that. I can see it pulled all the information from PDM link, the bill of material. So again, it's going to pull the latest configuration for that bill of material. So I know I'm doing my analysis against the current bill of material. But I also, if I had different configurations of the bill of material, I could do analysis on those as well. So we have the ability to pull saved filters down from PDM link. So in this case, these different filters applied to this assembly would give me a different result of parts, and therefore give me a different roll-up of the cost. In this case, I'm just going to choose to use the default, and I'm going to actually go in, generate a cost estimate report. Hit go. Now I actually can enter in some information about this report. Which cost model do I want to use? Do I want to use actual, or do I want to use another one of these different models? There are some out-of-the-box models, such as show me the bill of material with the highest confidence, or show me the one with the lowest cost. So we'll pull across the different models the lowest cost to give you an idea of what could be the lowest cost based on your estimates. In this case, I'm going to do actual. The cost to assembly is actually stored on the relationships of the parts, not on the individual parts. So I'm going to enter the cost to assemble. I'm going to enter in an expected volume. This could be from a third-party system, or it could be just keyed in as I did here. I'm going to enter target cost. In this case, I'm going to enter 980. Again, this is what's going to measure the bill of material against. So it's going to roll up the cost based on my estimates and measure it against this target cost. So I can see here that I'm getting a partial fail because my estimate is actually beneath my target cost. And it's going to give me some details about the deviation difference. It's also going to give me a cost estimate confidence. So this is the ability to specify a number so that we can do a weighted average roll-up to give you some level of confidence to compare against different roll-up methodologies. So the partial fail is because I'm actually missing estimates for some of my parts. So again, it rolled up the bill of material, but it found parts that didn't have estimates. So again, it's giving me a warning or saying that there's a risk to the roll-up. So here you can see I can scroll down to my table, and the actual first part in here is a part that doesn't have an estimate. So that could be one of the reasons that I'm getting the partial fail. I also could scroll down and do a filter to show me all parts that don't have estimate. I'm going to actually go back to this pie chart. So within this pie chart, you can see that I'm getting the total cost by estimate type. So it's saying that 93%, almost 94% of the cost is in actual, where the rest is coming from that assembly cost I entered. I also can drill down to the company parts by estimate types. So again, this is showing that 22% of the parts of the assembly don't have estimates. So I need to go look at those individual parts to determine if that's a risk. So again, this is giving me a level of risk associated with my estimate. I know I have almost 78% have actual estimates, and I need to look at the 22% that don't and understand the risk associated with that. So again, I can drill into these individual parts and add an estimate if I wanted to, or I could even go into Pareto analysis to understand the different cost drivers or cost components in this assembly. So here I can see that 85% of my costs are really in the first 4 parts. So again, that's the same information displayed in the table. Now I can actually go back and do multiple scenarios. So I can look here and say, you know what? Show me the cost based on a guess estimate. So again, that could be a different quality of estimate. As you can see, I have a different total roll-up. I have a different cost estimate confidence. I have a different breakdown of the total cost by estimate type. And I actually can drill further into the company parts by estimate type. So even though I told it to use guess, it's using guess in only 66, almost 67% of the parts. The other 11% don't have a guess estimate, but do have an actual. So that's the primary value that's being used instead of a guess. And also, again, I can see that 22% of the parts do not currently have an estimate. Again, that could give me risk. But also, again, I can go down into the table and say, you know, give me an understanding of where the cost is. I can see this first one part, there's 7 of those at a cost of 80. So that's generating, you know, a significant amount of my cost. So I may want to investigate that part. Again, I'll see that illustrated in the Pareto analysis. Again, it's showing that 85% of the cost now with this model is actually within the first 3 parts. So again, not only telling you, whether you pass, fail, I gave you some risk associated with the estimate with the pie chart. Now I'm telling you where's the best driver or the best place to act against the cost. So again, 85% of the cost in the first 3 parts. So I can drill down and see that $560 and $380 are in the first 2 parts. So 75% of my costs is in those first 2 parts. And I could drill further into the details. So here I'm selecting on the disk drive again. I'm going to drill further into the actual estimate here and say, okay, where's this $120 coming from? I can see that the majority of this, again, the cost driver, is in the material. So again, the information is guiding me to where I should take action. In this case, if I could reduce the material cost for the disk drive, this would be a huge impact on the overall cost of the assembly. Now I'm going to jump back over into Windchill here and do another look at the different information. This time I'm going to go for the structure of the entire product. So here I can see from my workstation that I have the 3D visualization, and I actually can look at that, drill into that to get more information of the cost, give me context to where those cost issues are. So here I drag in my assembly, it populates, and now within Creo Elements View, you can select on Tools, select color-coded search. You can see I have previously saved searches around compliance and cost statuses. So this shows for all parts under target cost, show them as green. This is saying for the parts cost verdict, light pass, show them as green. Similarly for the red parts, it's a parts above target cost. And this is saying for those parts where the cost verdict is unlike pass, show them as red. So now I can hit OK. It's going to color code the different parts based on those attributes, and I actually can color code the entire assembly, and again, have the ability to quickly drill into which parts are above or below my target cost. Again, giving me context to the cost overruns in a particular product. And this allows me to take immediate action if that is a particular critical part. And I can actually just jump right down all the way into the detailed information within Windchill by viewing the part details page.